Okay, so for today we'll come back to my channel. So today we'll revise geometric series. So geometric series is one of the topics which the examiners bring most of the time. So it's better to revise. Let's revise together. So most important formulas which you have to know is for calculating the sum. So for calculating the sum of the geometric series is even provided in the question paper. So we'll write Sn, we'll just write for the sake of writing. So Sn A, open bracket, 1 minus r to the power n. Okay, so over 1 minus r to the power n. So this is one of the formulas you can calculate the sum of the numbers in a geometric series. So this is applied when you know the value if r is what? Less than 1. So what do we mean if r is less than 1? So if r ranges from, it can be 0 point something to 0 0.9. These numbers, as long as r is 0 point something, 0 point something, it's not 1, meaning in simple mathematics, we don't want to over explain things. So for you to keep it simple, if you calculate the value of r is a common ratio. So if you find r is 0 point something, you know that this is the formula to use to calculate the sum. But in another case, you have sum Sn equal to A, open bracket, r to the power n minus 1, then everything divided by r to the power n minus 1. So you use this formula to calculate the sum if you know r is greater than 1. So if r is greater than 1, if you find the value of r, is 1 point something, or is 3, is 2, this is the formula you use to calculate the sum. Yeah, so here, you know, you need to define some terms. N is a number of terms in the series, number of terms in the series. Okay, so next we have r, which is the common ratio. R is a common ratio. So we have A is the first term. So the first term in the given series, we call it A. So now one more formula. So you only have 2 formulas, which is very easy to remember. In fact, you don't have to remember the formula for the sum because it's there, it's provided in the paper. What you just have to remember is there is one more formula, which is A n is equals to A r n minus 1. So same applies. This is the first term, common ratio. So if you say calculate, for example, find the fourth term, we use this formula. So it will be A subscript 4, since it's the fourth term. Then whatever the first term is, whatever the r term is, then n is what? 4 minus 1. So meaning our formula will simplify to A r to the power 3. Then if you want to calculate, for example, I ask you to calculate the third term, or the second term, let's say, for example, second term. So you apply the same formula, A subscript 2, since now it's a second term, then first term then r to the power n. Okay, n in this case is 2, so n, so you just say 2 minus 1, which is going to be the first term, r. Okay, so coming back to our question now. So first r, you can calculate it in this way. There are a lot of formulas, but I don't want to over explain things so that you get lost. So what you should know is you divide the next term, divide by the previous term. So r, you can calculate it if, for example, you have, let me say you have terms. You have terms in this series. You have A1, you have A2, you have A3, you have A4. So let's say these are your terms. They could be numbers, they could be anything. So now we want to find the common ratio R in this series. So the common ratio R, so the common ratio R here, R is calculated as, so you get this one, divide by the previous term is what? A1. You can also find the same value R. You get the successive term A4 over A3. So you can't divide A4 and A2, no, because they are not successive, like they are not next to each other, let me say so. So you can only get the number next to each other. So 1, A1, what is this neighbor? A2. So it's A2 divided by its neighbor. So you divide, you get the one which is in front, or let me say the next term divided by the previous, next divided by previous, next divided by previous. Yeah, like that. Okay, so we don't want to complicate things. So next divided by the previous. So if we had A5 here, we can find R using the formula A5 over A4. It's the same. So it doesn't matter the position, as long as they are next to each other, you can calculate the value of R will be the same. Okay, so now let's get back to our question. So I'll quickly paste the question here as well. Okay, so that we can have more room to solve. Okay. So here we have 3 terms. So one, which you have to know, solution. So solution, first of all, you need to see. They have told you n is what? Equals to 3. We have 3 terms in this series. Okay. So term number 1 is what? 3w minus 2, comma. Second term is what? 3w plus 6. Then you have a third term, 3w plus 30. Okay. So these are our terms. First term, second term, third term. So we are told to find the value of w. We are told to find the value of w. So the question is, the first 3 terms of the geometric progression are, so those are the first 3 terms. Okay. So if you write, you apply a formula a n equal to first term r to the power n minus 1. Okay, so here we know we have 3 terms. So we say A3 equal to, what is the first term? 3w minus 2. This is our first term. Okay, Then R, if you remember very well, I've said you can calculate R by dividing the next term divided by the previous term. So here, our second term is what? 3W plus 6 over first term 3W minus 2. So it's the same as well. You can calculate R by dividing A3 divided by A2. A3 is what? 3W plus 30 over 3W plus 6. These are the same. So you can use any. So for this example, we use this one. Okay, this one. So we'll put the value of R here, which is 3W plus 6, then divided by 3W minus 2. So we know R is power what? Number of terms is what? 3 minus 1. Okay. So I will rewrite here. I'll rewrite here so that I write nicely. So we have A3 equal to 3W minus 2. Okay, so we can just put in brackets. Then R is 3W plus 6 divided by 3W minus 2 to the power what? So to the power 2. Yes. So again, if you know, third term, A3, we know A3. This is 3W plus 30. So we replace A3 with a term we know A3. So A3 is what? Okay, so we quickly write A3. A3 is 3W plus 60. Is it? Oh, okay, state. Okay, so plus 30 equal to, so we have 3W minus 2. This is A. Then this is squared, so meaning we have two sets of this. I can just rewrite it like this. We have 3W plus 6 over 3W minus 2. 1 and another one because it's power 2, so meaning they squared. Square means they are repeating terms. 6 over 3W minus 2. Okay, so now I was trying to split them so that I can cancel 1, 3. This term and this term is common. So we can remove this guy and one of these. Okay, so further simplify. So we have okay, 3W plus 30 equal to, so now we have 3W plus 6 over 3W plus 6 again, everything divided by 3W minus 2, since 1 has cancelled with the first term. So here we can, if you know the rules of mathematics, if I want to get rid of this denominator, I'll multiply it by this denominator, I'll multiply it on both sides of the equation. So I want to remove this denominator. So I'll multiply everything by the same denominator, 3w minus 2. So I want to get rid of this denominator. How do I remove it? I multiply both sides by the same denominator. So this and this will cancel. This is on my right end. Then this will multiply by this. We are multiplying both sides, left and right. So on my left, I'll have 3w plus 30 multiplied by 3w minus 2x equal to, so this multiplied by this and this denominator will cancel. So I'll just remain with 3w plus 6, 3w plus 6. So now we simplify. Okay, so now let's expand. So expanding, simple. So you say 3w, which is multiplying by this, everything which is in the brackets, 3w minus 2, then plus 30, 3w minus 2, same applies. So it's 3w multiplied by everything in the brackets plus 6 multiplied by everything in the bracket. So you say 3w, open bracket, 3w plus 6 plus, this is plus here, then you say 6, 3w plus 6. Okay, so let's simplify. 3w plus multiplied by 3w, it will be 9w squared minus 3 multiplied by 2, which is 6w, this will be 6w plus 30 multiplied by 3w, which would be 90w minus negative multiplied by positive, positive by negative, negative, 30 by 2, 60 equal to 3w multiplied by 3w, it would be 9w squared plus 3w multiplied by 6. So this will be 18w. 6 by 3, that's 18. Yeah. Then plus 6 by 3w, it will be 18w plus 6 multiplied by 6, 36. So now we group terms together. So here we have 9w squared. So this guy will take it this side, since or we take all the terms to one side. So we say minus, when it crosses the equal sign, this it will be 9w squared. Okay. Then we can say minus 6w plus 90w, which else? So here we can add. Okay. So 18 plus 18, so we have 36. So it will be negative 36w. That is after we add and take it this side, it will be negative. Okay, minus this term, when it comes this side, it will be negative 36 equals to 0. So these two will cancel because it's just subtraction. So you would subtract right terms. These are the squares. So this minus this is 0. And now we come to this with w. So we say this is same as 90 minus 3. Negative 6w plus 90. So it's same as 90 minus 3. What's the answer? 84. 84 minus 36. So 84 minus 36 will have 48. 48w. So there is 0 here. It was even better leaving 36 this side. Okay, since it's no longer, it's not adding to anything. Okay, did I skip one number? Oh, there is negative 60 here. Oh, okay. You see, okay. So forgotten to write one number. Okay. Sorry about that. So there is supposed to be negative 60, then equal to 0. This one, I had forgotten this one. So we have two numbers, independent numbers, this and 36. Okay, so 36, these are both negative, so this is same as minus 36 by 6 plus 60. Okay, you get 96 equal to 0. So how do we solve this? This, you take it this side, since it's not adding anything. This one plus, so 0 is a number, 90, 96 and 0, they take them to one side of the equation. So we say 0 plus 96. Okay, so further simplify, meaning 48w equals to 96. And we divide by 48, we divide by 48. Okay, so meaning the value for w is, so 96 divided by 48, you get 2. So the value of w is what? 2. Okay. It's quite a long process, but very simple. So I'll paste the question again here. I can't manage going up. So we know w is what? Is 2. So meaning first term, our first term is so we say 3. W is 2. So 3 multiplied by 2 minus 2. Our second term is 3 multiplied by 2 plus 6. And our third term is 3 multiplied by 2 plus 30. So our terms, so here 3 multiplied by 2 is 6 minus 4, or minus 2 to give us 4. Okay, so here 6 plus 6 to be 12. Then here 3 multiplied by 2, 6 plus 30, so it will be 36. So now we can find R. R, like I said, is a successive term divided by the previous term. So successive term here is 12. Oh, sorry, 12. Okay, so A2 is what? A2 is 12. Then A1 is what? 4. So you get 3 as your common ratio. So like I said, like R is the same. Whether you use the third term and the second term, you still get the same answer. So R equals to, let's say, A3 divided by A2. So you can't get A1 here. I said next divided by the previous, because A3, the previous is A2. Okay, so A3 is 36 divided by A2, which is 12. You still get 3. So meaning our value for W is correct. So you can prove from here that as long as the common ratio has to be the same. Okay, so now the nth term. So we need to write the formula for the nth term. Nth term. So the nth term, we don't know what the nth term, but we know the common formula is an equals to first term r n minus 1. So the formula for the nth term, we just substitute the common ratio and the first term. So meaning our nth term, a nth, since we don't know where this series is ending. Our first term is what? 4. Then our common ratio is what? 3 to the power n minus 1. So this is the formula for the nth term. So this is the formula for the nth term. 4 multiplied by 3 to the power n minus 1. So for example, we want to get the fourth term, we just put 4 here. So it will be just 4 minus 1, 3. 3 cubic multiplied by 4, that will be our fourth term. So nth term equal to 4 multiplied by 3 n minus 1. So this is the formula. So when they say nth term, they are not telling you to find the answer. They are telling you to find the formula which can be used to find the next term in the series or next terms in the series. Okay. So this is part 2 of our problem. So for part 3, we're told to find the sum. Sum for the first 4 terms. So you quickly go back. If you want, you check. I had written the formulas. So the sum. So the sum, okay, let me see. Okay, so the sum, if you remember, you can use any of these formulas. So who can guess which formula we're going to use? I said if r is less than 1. Less than 1 meaning r is 0 point something. If it's just 1 and above, if it's 1.1, 1.2, you use this one, meaning r is greater than 1. But if it's 0 0.9, 0 0.8, meaning you can't use this formula, because, for example, if r is 0 0.9, meaning if you subtract here, if you put r here, 0 0.9, 0 0.9, it won't work. It will give you a negative, and sum has to be the positive. You see? So if at all you are lost, you don't know which formula to use, you can calculate the sum. If you get a negative, meaning you've swapped the formulas, you use the other formula, because sum is always the positive. So since we know r is 3, 3 is meaning it's greater than 1, so we use this formula. Okay, so quickly write it. Quickly write it here. So quickly write it here. Sum Sn equal to a, open bracket, n minus 1 over n minus 1. So we know what a is. A is the first term. So what is our first term? We've already calculated a here. We know a is our first term. This is our first term, which is 4. So we just substitute. So we just substitute a is 4. Then open bracket. What is our common ratio? Our common ratio is what? 3. And they said the sum of the first 4. So n is what? 4 minus 1 over r is what? Common ratio is 3 to the power n. N, they said sum of 4. So is power 4 minus 1. Okay, so continue solving. So Sn equal to 4 multiplied by, so if you say 3 to the power 4, 3 to the power 4 is 81. Oh, oops. Okay, so it's 81 minus 1. So 3 to the power 4 is the same 81 minus 1. Okay, which is equals to 4. In the brackets, 81 minus 1, it will be 80. 80 divided by this minus this, which will be 80. Okay, just trying to go through quite a little bit to apply the correct formula. Okay, yeah. Minus 1. So we are getting the sum as 4. So we're getting the sum as 4. So let's try to use, if for example you are lost, you use a formula where we use r as r is less than 4. So you say Sn equal to, you say a, the other formula is 1 minus r to the power n over 1 minus r to the power n. So you have 4, then you have 3 to the power of, so here we start with 1. Okay, so you have 1 minus 3 to the power 4 divided by 1 minus 3 to the power 4. So this will be 4. Oops. So you have 4. Then you have negative 80. Negative 80. Need to get some space. Okay, let me just erase. Okay, so let me just erase here. Here. Okay. So Sn is equals to, which is 4. So in the brackets we have negative 80 over negative 80. Okay, still it's giving us the same answer. Okay, which is 4. Yeah, but the emphasis is not everything where you get to be lucky. You can, it's better to use the appropriate formula. So if they say greater than 1, you know it's numbers from 1 going up, 1.1, 1.2. Yeah, plus some other markers are very strict with formulas. So if you use this formula, where we know r is less than 1, they will mark you wrong. Even if the answer is correct, they will mark you wrong. So better understand the question. The value of r, is it greater than 1 or is it less than 1? Yeah. Okay, so this was about this question. So we've revised 1. Okay, so let's solve the last part. Okay, so the last part is simplify. Okay, let me just quickly do this. It's a little bit tedious scrolling up and down. Okay, so part B we are simplifying. So simplify is just to, same as make it smaller. Okay, so you are dividing, so you are given 10a divided by n, okay, m squared n squared divided by 5a to the power 3 over 2 m squared n squared. Okay, so here is just a rule of division. If you know how to divide numbers, you just apply the rule of division. So we have 10a, we write this side n squared n squared. We know that division is changed into multiplication, and the numerator and the denominator swap. So whatever was down goes up, whatever was up comes down. The numerator becomes the denominator. So 2m squared n squared divided by 5a to the power 3. Next, you expand. So here we have, so expanding, okay, so expanding, so we have 10 multiplied by a. This is the numerator divided by m squared is m multiplied by m multiplied by n squared n multiplied by n. So this is this part, and multiplied by 2. We're expanding. M squared is m multiplied by m. N squared is n multiplied by n. So everything divided by 5 multiplied by a multiplied by a multiplied by a cubic. Okay, so now we cancel the denominator. You can't cancel numerators. Doesn't work. The rule of mathematics doesn't work like that. So you can only cancel numerators and denominators, common values. So you see n here, it can cancel with n here on top. Then this n can cancel with this n here. The m here cancels with that m. This m cancels with this m. So whether it was here, we could have cancelled. But if m was here, we can't cancel. We can't. The rule of multiplication doesn't apply because they are both on the same numerator. So you can only cancel numerator and denominator. Numerator is a number here on top. Denominator is number here. So we know 5 is divisible. 5 into 5, 1. 5 into 10, we have 2. So we have a, we can cancel with 1a. Okay, so on the numerator, when you cancel a number or a letter, so meaning here it remains 1. Wherever we cancel, you are remaining with 1. So here meaning is 1, 1, 1, 1. Here there is 1 as well. Even here 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so now we multiply the numerator, everything on the top. So on the numerator we have 2 multiplied by 1, multiplied by 2, multiplied by 1, multiplied by 1, multiplied by 1, multiplied by 1. So we have, in the numerator you have 4 divided by the denominator 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 by a. So it will be a squared. So this is the answer. Simplified. Okay, so this was a bonus question. So make sure you revise this question. So just to wrap it up, we have revised geometric, geometric series. So you need to know this formula for calculating nth terms. This is first term, common ratio minus 1. Then the sum, we also have 2 formulas for the sum. This is when r is less than 1. Then you have n, a, 1 minus r, n. Oh, oops, written the same thing. Okay, sorry. Okay, so so we have r, so we have a over. Okay, so this is for r greater than 1. So I've said this one, meaning R ranges from 0.1, 0.01 to 0.9. Here from 1 point something going to all these other numbers, 100, 200, use this formula. Okay, so thank you. Yeah, so invite your friends and keep watching my videos. If you have suggestion of the topics you want me to make a video for you, you can comment. Yeah, so you can quickly comment and send me the particular question which you want me to solve for you. Okay, so thank you.